everyone, welcome along to the channel. Today I am down. I'm hopefully heading to the Beachy Head Lighthouse. I'm just going to see how it goes with the tide though. So it's proper rocky down there. The tide's not out far enough. It's a nightmare to get to. But I'm going to do a review on my ONDU 4x5 rise. But as we're heading along, I'm quickly going to capture the shot. Left my footprints in the sand here. Got a nice rock here. Lighthouse cliffs just about getting lit up by the sun, hopefully. I'll wait for that to pop out and get our first exposure for the day. Okay, so everyone, yes, today I'm going to finally be reviewing the ONDU 4x5 rise pinhole. I've tried to put a few reviews together on this before. I've been out and the weather's just been awful. I tried to do one sitting down at home, but it just looked completely boring. So I thought being out and about is the best thing for it. So I'm going to quickly run through a few specs on this. Firstly, it weighs 430 grams. They do two versions. I think it's a ash and walnut or a walnut only. I'll confirm that on the screen. Has a focal length of 58mm. That's the distance from the film plane to the pinhole. It's got a 0.3 pinhole, which gives you an aperture of f193. It also has 3 pinholes, which I'll explain about in a little bit. Okay, so while I'm setting up this shot, I'll show you how the film holder is held on. It's nice and simple. Magnets. So you slot your holder in, and you can pretty much just chuck them on. So the magnet system I really like. I've not had many problems with it. A couple of times I was out in some really strong wind, and the wind was just hitting onto that and put it away a little bit. I did have a gust once which actually blew it off, or if you're walking about through maybe a wooded area, if you've still got your film holder on, it can get obviously knocked and pushed off. However, ONDU do supply little knobbles which go in here. They are more for the Polaroid backs which sit a little bit further off, but they do also hold these on as well. So if you are out in really windy conditions or overgrown locations, you can just whack them on. You just give them a little twist and it pops straight off. Okay, so for this one I am using the center pinhole. Now that will ensure that the horizon is central across the image, as long as your camera is squared up, and you can do that by using the little bubble level they've got here. They've also got another one on this side as well for when your camera is up in a portrait. Now the reason why I'm going for a centre one on this is because I've got a nice little bit of foreground, the lighthouse just on the centre of the horizon, some nice lit up cliffs and some actually quite nice sky this morning, so to benefit the whole scene I think that's going to work best. So to help compose your images, you have these field of view lines here and here. This one is for the rise pinhole, but at the moment we're concentrating on these two and the ones on the top. Now a lot of other pinhole cameras you get, they have these lines actually the other way round, and the idea is you kind of look down to see where you're composing your image. The reason why other places have the other way round is then you can just kind of look from the centre and kind of look down and look down. It kind of gives you a slightly wider view of what you're actually going to get. These are more correct because they're following actually the path of the light from the film to the pinhole. So in this shot we should get anything from there straight down to that. this side, so about there, just past that ridge on that cliff, or actually maybe just halfway through it I think. And then again you can follow the ones on the side, just going straight down and then going straight up. And then that should be our image. So the shutter system on the Mark III is a massive improvement on their last one. Their Mark IIs and 1s had like a big flappy shutter system which worked well, but if you weren't on a secure tripod it could have a little bit of a wobble. And shutter systems on pinhole cameras are kind of what make or break them. Like I said, if they're too stiff they add a little bit of wobble. If they're not secure enough they're easily knocked open. It doesn't matter so much on a large format because you're putting dark slides in and stuff. When you've got a roll film camera you want that shutter system to be nice and secure. I know a few people will put like elastic band just to hold them up and stuff, but this one they've now got a nice easy slide and it's a little bit magnetic as well, so it just gently pops back up and down, so you can be really gentle with it and it's so nice and smooth. So I think they've done a fantastic job on that, and I think certainly if you're not using a cable release system it's definitely probably one of the best shutter systems out there at the moment. Now the ONDU 45 does come with plenty of mounting points. It's got 3 tripod head mounts. You've got one here, and one there, along with 3 bubble levels, 1, 2 and 3. So it's got plenty of options for you to mount the camera. I personally like to use an L bracket because it fits on the bottom here nicely. And it just makes flipping it from there to there a lot easier. So highly recommend an L bracket. I use it on a few of my large format pinhole cameras, so absolutely fantastic. Now the build quality of this is absolutely stunning. It is absolutely solid. It is so well built and so well crafted. You can tell that the guys at ONDU are incredibly skilled. Not only that, it looks good. You know, you can sit that thing on your shelf while you're not using it. It looks nice sitting there. It's just absolutely beautiful. They've done a fantastic job on that, and you know, these things you quite often look on their site, they're sold out. These take time to make. They're not a mass produced thing, you know, they don't have a machine that's pumping out. These are all handmade, and quite often with quite a few of the pinhole camera companies actually. I know Zero Image of their 4x5 has been out of stock for almost 2 years while they've been waiting for the wood to be correct for them to manufacture the next lot. And ONDU are just the same. They have a limited time period to what they can actually make, and it makes them sometimes a bit harder to get, or you have to wait a little bit longer, but it is so worth the wait. And ONDU have certainly built themselves up an incredible reputation for quality. A few months back they put out a post suggesting a 3D printed camera. Now there's nothing wrong with 3D printed cameras, they're absolutely wonderful. I've got a few, and obviously I deal with mirror pinholes quite a bit, but there's nothing quite like a wooden camera. And going by all the comments that people would put in, I think the large majority of no, don't do it. ONDU has built a reputation for quality woodwork, for quality cameras, for cameras that just feel absolutely fantastic and robust. And that is the reputation they now have, and I think rightly deserve. These are some of the best looking pinhole cameras on the market today. Okay, so I'm going to quickly demonstrate the Rise pinhole and the benefits of it. I have done a whole video on this which I will link below, which goes into more detail, but I'm going to try and hopefully use it here and show you how the image works. So using the center pinhole with the camera squared, you're always going to have the horizon central. Obviously you've got mountains and stuff poking up over the horizon, that's going to be in the top half, but the general horizon will always be central to the image. Now if you move that pinhole up, you adjust then the horizon level, so it goes from being central to the image to either the lower third or the top third. So what's the benefits in that? Well, hopefully with this Lighthouse I can demonstrate a little bit. Okay, so with the Lighthouse here, if we keep this camera, it works the same on digital or any camera, straight, that will mean any straight line will stay straight. Now the lines on this aren't straight, they're already curving a little bit, so if I wanted to capture the whole lighthouse I'd have to tilt up, which is fine. The problem you then have then is everything else then starts to really tilt in. Now that can be fine, but that can then really kind of on buildings in particular, it'll really start pushing all them lines in, and it doesn't always look so nice. I've had it on a few photos, and the more tilted up, the more extreme it is, and it can really kind of ruin the look of the photo. So by adjusting the height of the pinhole, you're kind of working similar to like a tilt shift lens, is you're keeping your film plane straight, but adjusting the way the lens or the pinhole is looking. So if we look on the side of the camera here, now what you've also got to imagine and think with a pinhole or any camera, but particularly a pinhole here, is that image is going to be upside down back to front here. So that's showing me the line of light is going to go down here. That means the horizon is going to be down here for the image to be correct. So it's going to flip that over, and then this line is going to follow it all the way up. Now I'm going to try the shot here. I've got it sat straight onto there looking out. Now I don't actually know if this is, I think it's only just going to, oh no, it should be alright looking at it sideways, it should fit all in. And then what this will then actually do is just capture just a little bit down here, going along this board, and hopefully all that lighthouse. Now what I'm going to do, just to avoid any camera wobble, because I've just got it sitting there, is just going to cover the shutter opener with this, open the shutter, move it away, just so I don't get any unwanted wobble. It's only a 6-second exposure here, so I've got to be a bit careful. Okay, so I'm going to try another Rise shot, this time with it in landscape. It works. So then you just use this pinhole up here, and that captures less of the foreground, more sky. Obviously if you flip it around you get more foreground, less sky, but for this image obviously I want to get the lighthouse and hopefully the cliffs up there as well. Now the ONDU has provided a magnetic filter holder which comes with this. I forgot it today actually. I'll put a little video up of it. And that just magnets on around here, and that holds the Cokin A filter series, which is nice. Unfortunately I didn't have any Cokin A filters. I've had a load of coloured Cokin P, so I actually modified it to fit, so it's fantastic to have though. I've used it in a few of my previous videos, so you should go check them out. back from here because the tide is on its turn and I do not want to be stuck down here anyway. Okay, so what are my thoughts, pros and cons on the ONDU 4x5? Firstly, pros. Obviously it's a wonderfully built, high quality pinhole camera. It's certainly worth the money. The shutter system's lovely, all the magnetic backs for the film holders are nice, the magnetic filter holder works well. You know, you can't really fault it, to be honest with you. But if I was being picky, if there was maybe a few other options, certainly if there was an option for a pea-size filter holder, that would be nice. It would have saved me having to modify mine. The shutter system is fantastic. I do worry a little bit about getting grit in it as it's kind of a sealed in, but a few people have said about it before, and I believe contacted ONDU, who have been incredibly helpful, and basically you can easily pull it all away and clean it all out and reattach it all, apparently, something like that. Don't quote me on that. If you're having problems, contact ONDU. So I worry a little bit about getting the grit in the system, but as long as you keep it cleaned out and regularly give it a blast, it works well. The 58mm focal length is lovely. It's a kind of like a perfect all-round focal length, really. I do like something a little bit wider myself. I'm trying to do this while walking all over this. Oop. Anyway, I do like something a little bit wider myself. So if they ever did like a 35mm option or 30 or 40 or whatever, that's certainly something to be really interesting me. I do get why they've kind of just got the one focal length. It obviously makes manufacturing a lot easier. Like I said, these are all handmade pinhole cameras. The moment you start trying to chuck more options through, kind of doesn't always help things out. You can start missing stuff, so keeping the options lower is obviously sometimes better for a company to maintain a higher quality. So I kind of get why they've only got that one option on that, but that would be quite nice. And that, to be honest, is about it. It's a wonderful pinhole camera, and if you're looking at getting a nice wooden pinhole camera, especially with a rise system, go check their website out. I'll put all the links below for anything to do with them, and they're always very good at contacting people back. They're quite heavy on Instagram, so I'll put their link to Instagram as well. But yeah, apart from that, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I really hope you've enjoyed the review. Any comments, questions, put them in my comment section below. And if you want to support my channel, there's links below as well, where you can affiliate links where you can buy your own stuff through Amazon and stuff, and it helps me out a little bit. Or buy me a coffee if you want to, or a iced coffee on a day like today. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time I'm out.